What's up everyone? I'm Pamela. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be ranking 25 Randy Meeks quotes, specifically from the first Scream. If you guys enjoy this video, then I will eventually do Randy's quotes from Scream 2 and possibly also Scream 3. But let's get into it.
Certain rules. Push the laws and you end up dead.
This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life.
Not in my movie.
Surprise, Sydney.
He's gone mad.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
A very simple formula.
You want to play psycho killer?
Everybody's a suspect.
No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel.
I'll be right back.
Okay, I think it's gonna go something like this.
Randy Meeks is one of my favorite characters from the entire Scream franchise. He's probably my second favorite, after Stu, of course, but I love Randy so much. All of his scenes are so iconic. Honestly, if you think about it, he was not in that many scenes. Other than the final act, he was only in the fountain scene and the video store scene. He does play a big role in the final act, but other than that, he was only in 2 other scenes. But his character was just so iconic that he made such an impact on the movie. So I chose 25 quotes from Randy from the first movie. These are not every single quote from him. There were a few that I left out, but let's get into the ranking. Coming in last place at number 25, I have, the police are always off track with this shit. If they watched Prom Night, they'd save time.
Police are always off track with this shit. If they watch Prom Night, they'd save time.
Now, the reason that I have this one in last place is just because I honestly don't understand the connection to Prom Night, because this quote is during the video store scene where Randy is accusing Billy of being the killer. And I don't see how Billy as the killer really has anything to do with who the killer is in Prom Night. I don't want to spoil Prom Night in case anyone here has not seen it, but I just don't see the similarities. Maybe I'm missing something, so if I am, please leave a comment and let me know. This brings me to number 24. This is standard horror movie stuff, Prom Night Revisited.
This is standard horror movie stuff. Prom Night Revisited, man.
Same reason for the previous quote. I have these two in last place because I just don't see the connection to Prom Night. In 23rd place, I have, we had a run in the mass murder section.
We had a run in the mass murder section.
Number 22. Now that Billy tried to mutilate her, do you think Sid will go out with me?
Now that Billy tried to mutilate her, do you think Sid would go out with me?
I love Randy's crush that he has on Sydney. I wish these two got together. And I will just add that I really love Stu's reaction to this quote. Number 21. Besides, it takes a man to do something like that.
Besides, it takes a man to do something like that.
I love this quote from him. I think the delivery is so funny. But the reason that I have it ranked pretty low is because it isn't his own quote. He was simply mocking Stu. Number 20. Oh really, Alicia?
Oh really, Alicia?
This line from him makes me laugh every time. And I especially like this quote now, knowing that Alicia Silverstone goes on to play Tatum in Stab. We learned this in the opening scene of Scream 5. The opening scene with Tara, Ghostface is on the phone with her, giving her this trivia, and Tara is frantically looking things up on her phone to see the cast of Stab, and we can see that Alicia Silverstone played Tatum in Stab. Number 19. What's Leatherface doing here?
What's Leatherface doing here?
Number 18. If this were a movie, I'd be the prime suspect.
If this were a scary movie, I'd be the prime suspect.
Number 17. Because he's probably dead, his body will come popping up in the last reel somewhere. Eyes gouged out, fingers cut off, teeth knocked out.
Because he's probably dead, his body will come popping up in the last reel somewhere. Eyes gouged out, fingers cut off, teeth knocked out.
Again, I just love his delivery. Jamie Kennedy is such a funny actor, and the way that he delivers these lines is just so good. I love how everyone in the video store looks at him, and Stu's kind of like, come on man, shut up, like everyone's looking at you. Number 16. That's in poor taste. If you were the only suspect in a senseless bloodbath, would you be standing in the horror section?
Now that's in poor taste. If you were the only suspect in a senseless bloodbath, would you be standing in the horror section?
I just love how in this scene, Randy is like constantly calling out Billy. Billy is Randy's #1 suspect. Which brings me to number 15. Now you're telling me that's not a killer?
Are you telling me that's not a killer?
This line isn't particularly iconic, but I love that he knows that Billy is the killer. That just shows his horror movie knowledge. I also like Randy's face when he says this quote. Number 14. I never thought I'd be so happy to be a virgin.
I never thought I'd be so happy to be a virgin.
Just another funny one from him, and I love when Billy punches him in the face. Number 13. I'm telling you, the dad's a red herring, it's Billy.
I'm telling you, the dad's a red herring, it's Billy.
Just again, he gets it right. I love that he calls out Billy and knows who the killer is. Number 12. It's the millennium. Motives are incidental.
It's the millennium. Motives are incidental.
Number 11. That's the beauty of it all, simplicity. Besides, it gets too complicated, you lose your target audience.
That's the beauty of it all. Simplicity. Besides, if it gets too complicated, you lose your target audience.
I love this quote because it's so true, you know? Sometimes simplicity is the best way to go. And he's right. If it gets too complicated, people start to lose interest. Now we are getting into the top 10 Randy quotes. Number 10. Tell me something, did you really put her liver in the mailbox? Because I heard they found her liver in the mailbox, next to her spleen and her pancreas.
Tell me something.
Did you really put her liver in the mailbox? Because I heard that they found her liver in the mailbox next to her spleen and her pancreas.
This is, of course, in the fountain scene, and I just love his delivery on this line. It just stands out to me. It's one of the most iconic quotes from him, in my opinion. Which brings me to number 9. Was that before or after you sliced and diced?
Was that before or after we sliced and diced?
Another great delivery here. Number 8. There's always some stupid bullshit reason to kill your girlfriend.
There's always some stupid bullshit reason to kill your girlfriend.
Fun fact, this is Jamie Kennedy's favorite quote of Randy's. Every time people ask him this at conventions, he always goes with this quote. So not only do I love this quote, but just because it's his favorite, I had to put it in the top 10. Number 7.
Stu's flipped out. He's gone mad.
This is just another one. I love his delivery on it. I love the way that he says it. And then of course, this line leads into the iconic Billy Loomis reveal. Number 6.
She's the Supreme.
Just another one. I love his delivery. Number 5. Behind you. Jamie, behind you.
Behind you. Behind you, Jamie.
I just love that scene with him on the couch watching Halloween. And it's very meta because his name is Jamie and Ghostface is behind him. Number 4. You're such a little lapdog. He's got killer printed all over his forehead.
You're such a little lapdog. He's got killer printed all over his forehead.
This is another one from the video store scene. I like this quote because, again, he's calling out Billy. He knows Billy is the killer. Plus, him saying that he has killer printed all over his forehead is kind of foreshadowing Billy getting shot in the forehead. So that's why I really like this line. Had to rank it in the top 5. Number 3. This is the part where the killer comes back for one last scare.
This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life for one last scare.
I like this line from him because it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the movies going forward. You know, Ghostface always has one last scare. Number 2. There's a formula to it. A very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect.
It's a formula to it. A very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect.
This is just absolutely one of my favorite Randy quotes. I quote this line all the time. Again, his delivery is just so good. And then finally, coming in at number 1, I have the entire rules scene. The scene when everyone is watching Halloween and he gives the rules of surviving a horror movie. This entire scene is just full of iconic quotes. it would have been impossible to just pick one from this scene. This scene is probably my favorite scene in the entire franchise. I mean, just to name a few, you don't know the rules? There are certain rules to surviving a horror movie. I also like at the end of the scene, he says, "I'll meet you in the kitchen with a knife." So there you have it. That is my ranking of the 25 best Randy Meeks quotes from the first Scream. Leave a comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Which quote from Randy is your favorite? Are there any that I left out that should have been included on this list? Let me know if you want me to do a part 2 for his quotes in Scream 2. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Please turn on all notifications so that you don't miss out on any of my future posts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.